Hello, everyone. My name is Brian Lindow, and I am here to basically lead you through my thematic unit that I created that you guys will be reviewing for me. I'm a chemistry teacher at Liberty High School in Powell, Ohio, and this unit is a unit that covers covalent bonding within my classroom. You will see I wrote the unit to last about 8 days. It seems very short. However, in the past, we combined both types of bonding, and with ionic naming and practice, that would take us roughly 3.5 weeks, and that's a lot of material on one test. So I whittled it down a couple years ago. We split it and gave smaller assessments in between. Anyway, here's my homepage. If you scroll down, you will see a brief description of me. The unit, again, will be covering covalent bonding. I did use a number of different types of online simulations, tutorials, and videos. I feel this approach will actually help. The way I structured it, especially when it comes to the molecular shape portion of it, I let them look at the shapes first. I let them play around with the simulations, watch a video, get all that information before we even drew Lewis dot structures. I really feel this approach will help get underneath of what they generally don't see. In other words, when we do dot structures first, they just look at them as, okay, here's a dot structure. They don't really fully grasp that it's actual atoms creating a shape in a 3D environment. So I feel like switching that order and actually getting them to play around with the molecules and see what actually is occurring at that level will actually help them. So I feel pretty good about the unit. Let's get a quick run through here of how everything looks. Meet Mr. Lindow. Just a brief description of myself. Again, I teach at Liberty High School in Powell. And a description of the unit. Nothing too crazy, nothing too personal. The standards page, when you click on it and scroll down, you will see a brief description of the unit and the standards. You'll notice then when you scroll down even further, I have 3 columns set up, one for the P21 framework, one for the net standards, and one for the chemistry standards. Those are just basically laid out so you know what each lesson covers. I feel like I did a pretty good job of hitting quite a few different standards. So take a look at that. Let me know how you feel about that. When you go to the next button, we have our lesson plans. Very basic page compared to the other ones. I just basically uploaded my lessons here. Feel free to click on any of them. When you do click on them, obviously a Word document will come up after you open all this stuff or allow it. Rather than write a description of things, rather than outline it again, I figured we can just click on each lessons, read through what's going to happen. You can see the standards over here, the measurable goal, the materials, procedures, and assessment. You will notice my procedures are very they look short. They're not really short. Basically, most of these lessons are written with the use of a learning media or like a PhET simulation or what have you. Those things generally take the majority of the class time. So you're going to notice 3-4 procedures. You're going to notice it's saying get a laptop, log in to the wireless, and get going on the worksheet or the simulation. At Liberty, we have 45-minute classes, so you guys can understand by the time you get kids in, get kids settled down, describe what you're going to do in the day, hand out what you got to give them, talk about what they need to learn from it. You're looking at 10 minutes right there. So, they have about 35 minutes to get through these simulations. Some take longer than others. Some contain note guides. The majority of the class will be actually spent, with them being immersed in it. We do want time at the end, or if the next day if possible, for them to be able to discuss with me what they learned and what they thought about that. So go ahead, peruse through those lessons, have at it. Here's my assessments page. My assessments page is similar to the lessons page, but I do have a description. Assessments are pretty straightforward. I mean, some are homeworks, some are formative quizzes. There's a summative quiz. just a number of different types. The first one, the lesson 2 assessment, we'll be given a formative quiz using class clickers. I don't know if you guys have access to those, but they're phenomenal. Record data for you, let you know who got what wrong without having to tell the class, let you know what question was the most missed, all kinds of stuff. They're actually a really, really good tool. So then other than that, everything's pretty straightforward. You get your summative and formative quizzes, and then your final test or just kind of a large quiz. That's that. So we go to the more section. It lists the technology. This page, as you scroll down, will list all the different types of technology. Obviously, the first few you use to create your own websites. You guys know what that's all about. FET is huge. It's an awesome website. Lots of simulations, lots of visual recognition of what's going on, especially in chemistry. They also have physics at any level. You can go down to middle school. They have things. They have write-ups to go with them, note pages, all kinds of stuff. Great website. If you're a science teacher, make sure you check it out. Georgia Public Broadcasting. As far as my class goes, their videos kind of go hand in hand. It's kind of crazy, but they are kind of outdated, and the guy's kind of cheesy. So we've actually really backed off using those. Maybe once or twice a year we'll use them. And then down here, Khan Academy. Excuse me. You guys, I'm sure, know what Khan Academy is. Great resource. Great resource for kids that want extra help. Just a phenomenal website with all kinds of information on it. Go back up. Excuse me. We'll go to our peer review section. Like your website, I have a survey. You can see peer responses and such. Make sure you take a minute, check that out. Give me your opinions, suggestions, whatever you got for me. And then finally, the implementations and reflections page. The implementation, this will be used later fall when we get into covalent bonding. I plan on implementing it as written, 8 days. Move pretty quickly. We're trying to hold our kids to a higher standard, get moving, figure things out. Excuse me again. I may have to add a few days just to practice, but we'll see. Reflections. The biggest thing I got out of this course, I was really nervous to have to do this sort of thing, to create a website, to basically get an online presence going and find things online. It really opened my eyes that I can do it. I was pretty apprehensive, and the second thing that I really liked is that it made me look for resources, and there's tons of resources out there. Not that I haven't before, in the middle of school year been like, oh, I want to find something more interactive, but just having the time to look through things and find what's out there was just phenomenal. So I felt like this helped me a lot and kind of got my feet wet when it comes to creating this sort of thing, so that I can, like you guys, do a better job of it as we move forward. So thank you for taking your time to check this video out. Thank you for your feedback, and have a great year coming up. Peace.